e-commerce is the greatest business opportunity of our generation.
What's up, people? Welcome back to another episode of the Ecom Unlimited podcast. It's your boy Kaj here with my co-host Josh.
What's going on, everybody?
And today we're just wanted to give you guys a quick update of what's going on in our business and some things that we've been noticing from conversations that we're having with people inside of our communities, as well as just on social media. So Josh, why don't you give kind of the cool, quick update that we were just looking at on Seller Central for our biz?
Yes. So we have in the subscribe and save category, we have amassed over 592 subscribe and saves. And we started the year at 239. So me and Kaj are hoping, with the Christmas season and getting some new products with our brand exclusive up and running, that we could hopefully surpass 1,000 subscribe and saves by the end of the year, which would be super exciting.
Yeah, I think we'll hit it. And that's just such a cool number to have.
Yeah, it's such a cool number to have. And it just really allows us to see the growth and where revenue can, fluctuate month to month, depending on what we have in stock and what we don't have in stock. With some wholesalers that we have, we can always see our subscribe and saves continuing to grow, which is just another metric that we can use to see our growth, which is super cool. All right, Kash, what is another thing that we have added on this year to make our business some money?
Yeah, and so this is something that we've kind of actually been talking about for the last couple months. But with doing brand direct and continuing to dial in our systems, as well as just learning more about the back end of Amazon from guys like Colin Raja, guys like John Klein, learning more about advertising and building out that side of our business and the services for brands, we've contacted a lot of brands where they don't want you to sell their products. Like maybe they just want to keep those sales in-house for whatever reason, whether we think those reasons are good or those reasons are bad. That's kind of irrelevant. It's the brand's decision, but they still need help on Amazon and they're willing to pay for that help. And so part of the beauty of the wholesale brand direct model is we can tell the brands, hey, we're not going to charge you. We're just going to actually pay you and then handle everything. But there's some brands where it actually makes more sense for them to pay for that service opposed to hiring someone in-house, but they want to keep the sales in their account. So with that skill set that we've developed as a team, now we're offering those services essentially as an agency. And so we actually got a referral from someone within the space that we've talked to and connected with online. And we're working on their stuff right now at the time of this recording. Probably by the time the episode comes out, we may have completed the one-time project. But we're also hoping to bring on a couple other brands where we're either just doing one-time projects for them, where we're updating the listings, or where we're doing full-blown account management and managing ads in the back end for them too. So really excited about kind of building out that side of the business too, and making sure that we're doing it the right way for brands. And one thing that I think is going to be really good for us is, and I've talked about this before, a lot of brands like the wholesale partnership because they've had bad experiences with agencies. But because of how we've partnered with brands first, I think that gives us a really strong foundation to have good services that we provide to the brands and also communicate well. So that way, when they're paying us that amount that we're charging them, they don't feel like it's wasted. They can actually see the value. There's good communication. The results are good. So I'm really, really excited about that because that's just going to kind of increase the way that we can grow our business. And like all Amazon sellers know, it's like at a certain point, you just always need more money to spend on more inventory, but you don't need more capital in order to get another agency client. So it also kind of helps help us grow without having to worry about leveraging more debt.
Yeah, it's allowing us to kind of add in a service-based business with our heavy inventory-based business, which can free up a ton of cash flow and allow us to not have to stress so much about money coming in, money coming out, with potentially more agency clients coming in the door. And if you guys want to hear a talk that we had with John Klein about running an agency and what that looks like, make sure to look back on a previous episode, all right? Because we had a really good talk with him, who is a high-level agency. He does a lot of agency work for a lot of brands too. So that's really cool. And then also, if you want to learn how to potentially optimize listings and, be better at knowing what keywords to put in certain listings, go find our free Brand Direct course, guys. It's on YouTube. I think, was it about an hour long? Hop in the free Discord if you guys have any questions. Like, our job there is to answer your questions. We are looking for questions. So hop in there, communicate with us, network with us, because we would love to see where you guys are struggling and where we can help you guys. So Kaja, how many brand exclusives are we working with right now? Just to give some people the idea.
That's a good question. So I never know that in the video we say 8, which makes me think that now we're at 9 or 10.
Gotcha. And we actually have launched a couple products that haven't been on Amazon yet, right? In the past, week or so. How's that been going? And are you surprised by the velocity that we're getting?
Well, the one that we were just looking at before this call, I'm very surprised by the velocity. So it's for a brand that's already kind of on the smaller side, right? So their top listing, sometimes when a certain marketing event will happen, it'll sell a bunch in one day. But other than that, it's normally selling 1 or 2 a day. And so this newer product, which isn't really their flagship product, we're we'll create the listing. We really like the brand owners. We've met them in person. They're great guys. They enjoy working with us. So we're all right, we'll launch the listing. And just send in 10 units. And all we actually had, because we were working on so many other things, I didn't have our team focus on the full image stack for them. So we just had one really good hero image and then optimized title, bullet points, and description. And once the product checked in, we sold 4 within 3 days, which I was expecting to maybe sell 1 a week. So that was really good. So I just ordered 100 from them, just doubled down on that. We'll get the image stack up, start running ads. And all those sales were organic too. So that's super exciting. And again, one of the cool things about working directly with the brands is you can grow your catalog. You don't even have to necessarily go source new products. You can actually just create new listings on Amazon that actually work, which is so much fun. And the brands love that too, because that's just super clear growth, because you're not coming onto the listing and just taking their sales. And then, because sometimes they can feel we were seeing those sales, now we're not seeing them. But when you do this, it's okay, that wasn't there. It wasn't happening. That's growth that only happened because we're working with Cajua Josh, which is cool.
Yeah. Maybe kind of talk about, in terms of when you're on calls with these brand owners and they're looking for agency work, where do you find that they need help the most?
That's a good question. I think it depends on the stage that the brand is at, right? So for the one brand that we're working on now, most of their business is B2B, business to business. So they're not actually, even on their own website, they're not selling that much to the end user that's using their product. So their operation just is not optimized for B2C or D2C, direct to consumer. So on Amazon, their listings are just not good, right? So for that, it's just all right, we need to completely redo the listing, and then we'll probably also end up managing their advertising for them too, if that's something that they want to invest in, or at least doing a one-time setup of their campaigns. Other brands, it kind of depends. So actually the one brand that we're working with now, that it took us, 7-8 months following up with to get the exclusive. They had an agency set them up on Amazon, but that agency did some things really well and some things also not really well. And they didn't have control of their supply chain. So some back end stuff needed to be fixed on the listings, and then also needed to help them deal with all of the resellers. But most often when it comes to working with an agency, the services that we're offering are listing optimization and PPC management or optimization. It really comes down to those two things.
So, Kaj, what are some things that you notice people who are doing brand direct struggle with?
Yeah, so especially newer people. And I tweeted about this the other day from the time of this recording. So by the time this comes out, this tweet will be old. But a couple things. So one is Amazon sellers, especially newer sellers, which I get, and if I was a newer seller, I'd probably feel the same way, is they don't give themselves enough credit for how much they actually know about Amazon. They feel like they need to be an Amazon expert in order to be able to work with the brand, which obviously the more you know, that's going to help you. But in reality, most brand owners, especially the smaller ones, know next to nothing about Amazon. So literally the fact that you know how to look at a keeper graph and you can compare a good listing to a bad listing is more than enough for you to open an account and start ordering from them. Now, that's not enough information for you to be able to like completely revamp their listings and do advertising and all that. Sure, there are things that you legitimately don't know, but I think a lot of people are using their lack of knowledge as an excuse to not contact brands, and that's just completely invalid. And so part of what we're trying to do in the Brand Direct course is give people a little bit more knowledge to have that confidence to reach out. So that's one. And then two is a lot of people pitch way too much out the gate when they're talking to brands. And they're like, okay, I can do all of these different things for you. I'm the best thing since sliced bread or whatever. You know, I can do the map enforcement. I can get rid of the resellers. I can do advertising. But they pitch all of these services before they actually know what the brand cares about and what their real pain points are. And so all that is communicating to the brand is that the seller is only in it for themselves because they're not showing genuine curiosity and interest, and they're just trying to pitch services and just pitch, which is just showing I'm just trying to word vomit essentially so I can get the account, which that's not attractive to the brand. They want someone who's going to like come alongside them, actually understand what's going on in their business and what they care about and help solve those issues. So those are kind of the two main things that have been recurring themes, even from conversations that we had with people at Miami Sellers Conference, on Twitter, the Instagram DMs, Discord, like wherever it is, those two things have kind of been continuing to be a theme. So kind of wanted to address those. And again, shameless plug on the Brand Direct YouTube video. Like those are some things that we address in more detail there and give people kind of like concrete frameworks and ideas to work through. So that way they can approach these brands with a little bit more confidence and a little bit more of a strategy.
Yeah, I mean, I remember talking with people in Miami and they were just like dumbfounded that we didn't make like any money for like 4 to 5 months on a brand. And I was like, dude, but like if you can lock in the exclusive, like you're going to have years of profitability, most likely, unless you like really screw things up. And it's like that just like totally like almost trumps, you know, being able just to break even for a few months, getting to know them, understanding what they actually want and how you can best help them. Gosh, also, you know, help us, you know, plug, how do you find good brands? What software do we use for that?
Yes. What software do we use? There's a smart software called Smart Scout. I don't know if you guys have heard us talk about that before. If you haven't, that's probably because this is the first episode that you're listening to. But Smart Scout is honestly, from what I know, the only tool that gives brand level data in the way that we need in order to find brands to reach out to work with on Amazon. So if you're trying to do brand direct and you're like especially if you're in the beginning phase and you're doing outreach, like if you don't have Smart Scout, I don't know what you're doing. So it's a tool we use every week in our business. There is a description or there's a link in the description to get 25% off your first 3 months. And I think there might be a free trial in there too. I always forget who has a free trial, which tool doesn't, because we work with a lot of different tools. But yeah, if you're trying to do brand direct, Smart Scout is an absolute must.
Yeah, it looks like you get 25% off your first 3 months with the code Ecom Unlimited. So guys, links will be in the description for Seller Snap, Smart Scout, and the Brand Direct course, guys. Hopefully you guys find your way also into our Discord so you can start asking some great questions if you have any. And thanks for listening, guys. Make sure to leave a comment. If you have any topics you want us to discuss in the future, make sure you make that known in the comment section. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. If you're on Spotify, follow the podcast so you can stay updated on all of our new content. And we will see you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.